Okay, so let's see if this works now. It's still not working. I'll Google it. DayZ won't work with OBS. Figure that out. Okay, this guy's got a black screen. Okay. And the answer is black screen can occur for a number of reasons, blah, blah, blah. Almost always just due to misconfiguration or typical laptop issues. Okay, interesting. Let's see here. Even when I close Shadow, okay, it might not be fully shut down. You might blah blah blah. Install. Okay, isn't having blah blah. Okay, no image. Okay, okay, it's still doing it. Maybe it's because of the configuration of the game itself. Nope. I have the game and game capture works for me with the okay. It also worked the other day, by the way. I feel very stupid right now because it works. I thought there was a problem because when I was alt-tabbing, I was seeing a black screen. Thanks for the what? That's not how mine's being solved. I am having the same problem with the game's games. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Add me on Steam. Okay. Nothing. That was all a waste of time. See, I've updated the video driver. Yep, did that already. Accept that shit. Nope, not that either. Okay, bug report. Capture no longer. Okay, blah, 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 blah. When was this day? How long ago? That was the 2019. Black screen with OBS DayZ general discussion. That's 2016. I don't think I'm going to bother with that. What in the F? I know there's a thing. All right, let's go live. Nope, it still didn't do it. What in the hell is going on? I wonder if I have to, I wonder if I don't understand what's going on here. This is so weird. Okay. So confusing. Perhaps. Okay, I'm going to try something else. I need this to work. Okay, so think. Okay, let me see here. Try that again. DayZ won't work with OBS. Hello guys, first of all, blah blah blah. Okay. How odd. I was actually having a problem with the game not being captured, whatever. I know I've solved this before, I just don't remember what it was. What was it? I don't remember. Huh. Maybe I have to, maybe I have to, what? I don't know. How about I'll completely get out of Steam. Then I'm going to run as administrator, if I can. Yep. Yes. Okay. Steam is now reopening, resetting, restarting. Everything's starting. Close. Okay, now I'm going to open Daisy Launcher, run as administrator. Okay. Good. Good. Excellent. Now I'm going to go to Daisy Generis, play, and yes. Okay. Now I'll go back to live stream. What in the bloody hell is going on? Did that work? That is so weird. I mean, I can do this, but it'll be choppy. Whatever. No, it's not whatever. It really bothers me. All right, well, I'm going to just see what happens. All right, I'm going to try to make it to the summer camps. Might be a little choppy because I'm just capturing my screen instead of the game. For some reason, it's not working. I have no idea why. So I'm just going to go north. Oh, hey there. Let me go to Discord. Let's see. Where am I? My Discord, DayZ voice. Careful when you come in because you might be loud. Okay, cool. All right, let me see here. What is going on here? I feel like an idiot. What the hell? Okay, how about this? I'll go here. There we go. Okay, the summer camps are just a place where you can get kind of hunting type stuff.
I'm speaking quietly.
Hey there.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Oh, okay, cool. How are you doing? You there?
I am.
Oh, okay.
So tell me about the summer camps.
Well, they're just a group of they look like little cabins that I guess
Mm-hmm.
you stay in until you go hunting. So sometimes there's hunting gear there. So, and I know they're north of this town. I think it's Berezino.
Oh,
But
neat.
it's weird playing DayZ, I'll tell you.
I was wondering.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty bizarre. It's so surreal.
Well, I mean, for me, it never feels real when
Yeah.
someone's gone. It just doesn't. Maybe that's my denial or my defense mechanism or whatever. It's just like, oh, okay, that space is empty now.
Yeah, it's weird how that works. I don't think I have that as much. Like I actually fight that a lot because
Mm-hmm.
I decided a long time ago that when somebody dies, I was going to allow myself to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a kid, I didn't allow myself to be sad.
Right.
But so I was pretty messed up for a while there, because it's just so bizarre. Like,
Well, it's 2 years of your life.
yeah, I mean, really, a lot of time too. I mean, just a lot of time. But I don't know. A bunch of the of friends of Mock, who we all met on that game Miscreated, except it wasn't a weird server where they just hand you alien spacecrafts full of loot. It was like
Right.
more like this.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago is when we all met. Makuda, you know that name.
Yes.
He's going to rent a Miscreated server, and we're all going to go in there and have some sort of a service for him.
I saw that in the chat
Yeah.
on the Remnant server.
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent and important idea.
Yeah, I do too. It's weird because today I attended a wedding on Rust, and next Saturday
was it
I'm.
beautiful?
Oh yeah, it was. It's too bad you didn't get on
I
earlier.
saw the invitation when they sent the invitation, or you showed me the
Yeah.
link to the invitation.
Yep.
It was a gorgeous invitation.
Yeah, it was. I was actually ended up late for the ceremony, but I was able to join the PvP, and then I went back and checked out the actual the server that had the ceremony in it, and they made like a big castle and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. I was just actually in there looking around, and I switched over to this because nobody else was in there. So I was like, well, I've seen everything now. I'm gonna go now. But
Well, I was on. You were playing some shooter game, and I was like, I'm not jumping on for that.
that was the after wedding event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is funny.
I was like, he's doing his thing. I'll let him do that.
Yeah, I totally don't enjoy PvP at all. I just don't like it. I think I don't know where the summer camps are. Thought I did, but now I apparently don't. But it's so weird, like a wedding today, and next Saturday I'm going to a funeral in a game.
Yeah, and all virtual.
Yeah, it's so weird. Oh wait, is that something up there? But yeah, it's like I don't know. It's so like it, I don't know if you saw his son's thing on Facebook where he was just like
I did. It felt very curt.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was so weird. I mean, part of me was a little mad, but I knew
Yeah.
that, well, he lost his father, so
Yeah, I was gonna say
shut up.
relationships are awkward. Grieving is awkward. Like I'm not judging anyone and how
Yeah,
they do it.
exactly.
Like I am gonna give him the goodwill of assuming he is doing that to the best of his ability.
Right. It was so weird though in Discord. I mean, again, I have to default to that. I really just do. But it was just so strange. I mean, I feel like a year from now that he won't be any different. Like I think that's something happened there. You know, I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I'll try
How
not
do you,
to
how do
figure
you
it out.
not get it?
Well, when I in Discord, when I asked how's Mock, he just wrote he's dead. I just thought that was a really strange. I don't know. It was just so. I guess I don't know the
Who is
I don't
this?
know the guy. This is a zombie.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, no, I mean, I assumed that their relationship is challenging.
But yeah, it was also so weird that the way I thought about it was like, if I didn't know him on Facebook too,
Mm-hmm.
and happened to know that one of those three people were his son, people would just disappear if you know them online. It would just be poof, gone. It wouldn't be like an explanation. They just wouldn't log on anymore. It's so bizarre because there's so many people that I'm not on their Facebook, and I don't know their son. And if they died, they would just disappear. Now, I guess possibly I would know someone that would know something that would know someone that would know something. But it was so weird to come to that realization that really fortunate that I was able to that we were able to be close enough so that we could share some information.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, I've been in a 10-year relationship with a guy in Massachusetts that's entirely phone-based.
Right.
And, like, we talk to each other constantly, send each other birthday presents, Christmas presents, like, know the intricate ins and outs of each other's lives, etc., etc.
Right.
And he just went off grid
Wow.
for like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. So you started thinking, right? You're like, oh, wow.
He had been hospitalized. But, and so, like, that's what made me tell my mom and aunt. Because at that point, this relationship had been going on like 6 or 7 years. But I never talked about it because, like, what do you say?
Yeah, it's an awkward conversation.
I've got this imaginary phone boyfriend. And we're really tight. And we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
So, like, if something bad happens to me, you're going to need to look him up in my phone and tell him.
Right. Yeah, how would I tell someone? How would I do it, though? Go log into Discord.
No. Yes, please tell my friend.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that is really weird. So is he okay?
Yeah. It ended up being untreated diabetes, and he had gotten a blood clot because he didn't know he was diabetic. So he had gotten a blood clot. It moved into his leg.
Oh,
he was hospitalized for weeks. It was this whole thing.
Right.
And, you know, again, I didn't particularly savor having that conversation with my mom and my aunt.
Right.
Like, here's this thing I've been doing for years.
Right.
Met this guy via the internet. No, I've never been in the same room with him.
Right.
But I can tell you his middle name, his favorite color, his high school job. Like, you know. So,
wow.
yeah. But yeah, that's the only thing that made me say, you know what? Like, but even today, I don't think he's been that forthcoming with the few members of his family. So
Right.
yeah, if he kicked off tomorrow, I wouldn't know about it.
You would just have to guess.
I would have to assume.
Right.
Like, oh, something horrible must
Not
have
even like
happened to him.
on Facebook or anything?
No, he doesn't do Facebook.
Oh. Yeah, but you're pretty smart. You could do some detective work with the information you have.
Oh, I could search obituaries, which
Right.
is morbid as hell.
Yes. I did that actually.
Yeah, you know, like, yes, I could do that, but
Yeah, it's really messed up. So then Makuta made another Discord where he invited some friends that you know, the people that we became close and stuff.
sure.
And it's a closed Discord where people can go to leave their contact information if something weird happened.
Right.
So I thought that was a good idea.
That is smart.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting having I'm assuming someone's going to want me to talk, say something in miscreated, because yeah, it's just so freaking bizarre. The whole thing is so weird to me. But
What? That you're again, I've got an imaginary boyfriend, you had an imaginary best friend.
yeah, it's so weird because but it's
Wonderfully real.
yeah, it's
best
so
friend.
yeah.
Yeah. Which is why, you know, I call him my imaginary boyfriend tongue in cheek.
Right.
But like, he's been a great, incredibly long-term relationship who has seen me through some horrific moments.
Right. And like the wedding today was between Vertigo and Tank Girl or Brendan and Sarah. She's from like Chicago and he's from Australia. And they met in Rust like I think like 10 years ago or something. And then they just last year for the very first time met each other, maybe a year and a half ago in real life. And then she moved to Australia and then now they're getting married.
Right.
Twice in Rust and also in real life.
Right. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, well, it's a whole new way of being in the world. It's a whole new way of being intimate. And in some ways, I like the virtual world better because it is appreciation of each other in your purest form.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
You know, even if you can play a character or whatever, you can only catfish for so long. Once you're past like 6 months, it starts getting real.
How did you start talking to him on the phone? Like, how did you meet? Or can you not say?
We're recording, right?
Yo, yeah, you're live.
Yeah, I figured.
There's only 2 other people watching.
When
so
I was at college,
probably bots.
when I was at college,
Yep.
I needed stress relief
Uh-huh.
that did not necessitate any time or attention.
Oh, okay.
So I put up an ad in Craigslist.
Oh, interesting.
outlining exactly what I wanted.
Wow.
Yep. And oh my God, 50 million people answered.
Wow. Did it go something like, I just want to talk on the phone?
Yeah, like I do this in my private time, and I'm sure you do this in your private time too. And wouldn't it be better to do this together?
Oh, okay.
You know, like because I was feeling lonely, but I was also feeling like super stressed out.
Right.
But I didn't have time. I had tried dating. I went on a couple of dates while I was there. Disastrous, weird, not what I wanted.
Right.
And it occupied time. Like the simple maintenance of getting girled up
Right.
to get human, to get off campus, to go to do, to a movie or have coffee or whatever. Like no, look, I just need some high intensity, high quality, fast delivery.
Right.
And yeah. And one guy wrote me an extremely explicit, not very pleasant email from his company's email. And you know me.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I wrote back to him, I don't think that we're looking for the same thing. And then he said some really nasty things to me. So I said, oh, well, this is you, and this is who you're married to, and these are the names of your 2 children, and this is where you work, and this is your boss's name. P.S. Please don't send lewd emails with a picture of your genitalia
Oh, God.
to strangers on the internet.
That's awful.
Because some of us are intelligent enough to hunt you down and change your life. At which point, he became incredibly conciliatory.
Did it disappear?
Oh, well, first it was, you wouldn't, I didn't, yeah. Yeah, you're a moron. I told you very politely, I have no interest in what you're offering. Go away quietly. But it was fun.
This doesn't sound fun.
It was fun to put him into sudden, deep existential dread that his whole world was about to crumble. Because he answered a naughty offer on the internet.
A naughty offer.
Uh-huh. So yeah, test drove a couple of candidates, and this guy was definitely the one with all the right bells and whistles. And we have a date tomorrow morning at 6:30.
In the morning? Wow.
Yep.
That's the most incredible thing about all of that is 6:30 in the morning.
I know.
Just like, what?
I know. It's ridiculous because he's like that's our fatal flaw. Is like I'm a night person and he's an early bird. So on the weekends it coalesces perfectly. I'll get up, I'll let the dog out. It'll be a 20 or 30-minute encounter. And by the time it's over, I will happily drift back off to sleep. And he will happily jump in the shower and go on with his day. Oh my God. And then we'll meet up again around noon.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
He'll ask how my nap was. I'll ask how his day was.
Just a typical Sunday.
Yep.
Oh my God. Now, does he have a relationship in real life?
I don't know.
You never went there?
Ask. I mean, I know he lives alone. And there's never any like weirdness about like calling or texting him any hours.
Right.
I mean, I assume that he copulates regularly in the real world with
Right.
people. But he's an active, functioning alcoholic.
Oh.
So he and I could never,
Right.
as simpatico as we are,
Right.
he's got a problem with alcohol.
Right. God,
and-
that reminds me of this quarantine must really be a nightmare for people like that. People like that are, whether or not they're completely off, recovered or not. It's got to bring up some shit.
Oh, he's still working.
Yeah.
And I don't ask him about it. I don't talk about it because, he gets that from his mother. I don't need to get on him about.
You don't want to ruin that magic.
It's not even magic. It's about, he knows how to set his own functioning limits on it.
Right.
So, his new thing is because he's getting out of work earlier because they're doing limited production and stuff, he can't drink before 6 o'clock.
Oh.
But again, people who don't have a problem with alcohol don't have to set up rules and regulations for themselves.
Right, exactly. Like I don't have any rules. I have no rules at all.
Right. Because they don't have a problem with it.
I guess my only rule is I know that if I drink, I'll get tired really quick. That's about it.
Yeah, but that's not a rule. That's just a fact.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, no. He has recognized if I get home and start drinking at 3 in the afternoon, this is going to be a problem.
Right.
So, instead, he sweats it out, but boy, does he know when that clock is ticking.
Wow, yeah. So anything exciting happening?
How do you mean?
I don't know. Because then after you tell me what your exciting news is, I can tell you what mine is.
End of the school year.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. All right, tell me your exciting news.
That was pretty funny of me. Very honest, though.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I am all for it.
Okay. You know me, I like to set it up. I don't think you like the show, but are you aware of the show TYT?
Nope.
It's the Young Turks. It's the biggest.
Oh yes. I'm totally aware of it.
Okay. Well, Cenk Uygur is he's the head of TYT. He's also the founder of something called Wolfpack, which you may have heard me talk about a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. So you remember Ben? Okay. So about 3 months ago, I text Ben, and Ben goes, "Hey, you know what? I should get you in touch with my high school buddy from New Hampshire, Mike." I was like, "Why?" Like, "Oh, he's the national director of Wolfpack." I was like, "What?"
And you fangirled hard.
I was like, "What? Now?" My first thought was, "Now? What part of 3 to 4 years ago do you not understand?" but whatever, that's cool. I was also insanely excited. Didn't think anything would happen. Secretly wondering if something major would happen, of course. But anyway, so we started talking, and he invited me to a Zoom meeting, and it was for fundraising, and he seemed like what he wanted me to do is be in charge of. He said before the end of the Zoom meeting, he was pretty much saying, maybe you'd be really good at trying to figure out a way to contact Bernie supporters that are really upset at what happened, because it's all about money and politics if you look at what happened with Bernie.
Absolutely.
And I just said, yeah, because anything just being involved with something that I believe in was just made me really happy. Like it made me feel like I had some kind of a purpose, you know.
Right.
But when we were talking about fundraising, we kept coming up with these dead ends. Like, you know, you can talk to somebody about money and politics if you want, and you get them to agree with it. That that's the biggest problem with money and politics is money and politics. Blah blah blah. But then when you say, so
where's the action? Yeah.
would you like to either join as a volunteer or you could just donate? You get crickets, or you get looked at like you just said. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Have you found Jesus? Like it just doesn't work. People don't really care until they've been talked to for a while and are really invested. But just having a little chat with someone and them agreeing with you doesn't do much because they're like, Wolfpack, what the hell is that? Isn't that thing in that show, whatever that movie was, the Hangover? Or weren't they a wrestling group? So anyway, turned out I'm not very good at fundraising because I don't like it, and I'm not very good at things that I don't like. But the whole time I'm saying to him, you know, if you really want to fundraise, there's this guy named Hassan who's on TYT, and he has his own Twitch channel. And whenever he goes live, he has like sometimes 1,000, sometimes 13,000 people watching him. And he has like something like 20,000 subscribers, which means he makes that times $2.50 per month, if you can do that math. And so why doesn't Wolfpack have a podcast / stream / YouTube live thing? Because you guys know TYT for one, and how easy would it be to get followers if TYT started saying, hey, Wolfpack has a podcast?
Right.
I mean, seriously, it's just like, it's a slam dunk as long as you don't have an idiot or boring or some Nazi or something. I don't know, something bad. You'd have to really trip over your own dick to screw it up.
Right. Totally.
And so then he liked the idea, and he said, well, the funny thing is, and I feel really bad because I'm not totally sold on astrology, but you know how I feel about being a Scorpio.
Yeah.
It's this weird phenomenon that I really can't explain. Like all the numbers add up, but the logic isn't there. So she goes, strangely enough, we're having a really hard time with our current editor. Oh shit. I might be dying soon. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Just gonna concentrate for a second.
Yeah, kill
this.
Kill.
Oh shit.
Shoot more?
Yeah, I can't yet. Okay. This could be bad. Oh wow, the door's saving my life.
Yeah, it is. Keeping them back.
Okay, now what do I do?
Okay. You've bottlenecked them nicely.
Yeah, what cost? It's 308. I can, okay, so I can, I need to...
What's wrong with your health?
Oh, right. Good point. I should probably do that.
Yes, you should.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, actually, I'll do this. It's not bandage because I'm actually not bleeding, but my health is so low, so I'm giving myself blood, which
good.
actually probably won't help. Okay, now I'm going to give myself an IV. Oh my god, all it takes is one more hit and I'm dead. To be continued. Okay, so now I cannot believe that this door is saving my life currently.
We'll take it. They're just patiently lined up to kick your ass.
They really are, and all I have to do is shut the door and I'm dead. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, so 3 and reload. And now I need to be a little more careful, I think.
Yeah, could be. Are you using a silencer?
Yeah. Oh, this is a predicament.
Can you go into wherever the door is?
I can't go in because I'm on the wrong side of the door.
Oh, can you climb over the... Is there a railing behind you?
No. I can't get out of here at all. I just have to kill all the surrounding zombies and then go in.
Bill Murray's just spinning in circles. Oh, dead. Here comes the Grammy from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yep. This is some kind of weird luck that I'm alive right now. That's all I gotta say.
We will take this little hidey hole for all it's worth. I see nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Oh, God. Okay, so... Alright, reload the clip again. Good thing I have this gun. I almost left this gun behind because I hate the Scorpion so much. Because it's so weak.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, you never know. I do have 50 bullets. There may be a point where I need to kill a bunch of zombies because I'm stuck. Here I am.
Okay, now you know what the irony would be?
What?
Is if the pile of corpses is so high that you can't move the door and you starve to death because you're stuck in a corner behind a wall of corpses.
Yeah, the game doesn't work like that. The zombies become whatever the word for transparent, only physical. You can move through them. I need to get rid of this guy right here. Actually, he might be glitched and blocking, so I'm going to kill him last.
Yeah, don't fuck with anything close to the door.
Jesus Christ. Die, woman.
They just keep coming.
Yeah, and as soon as this silencer breaks, because the silencer will probably break, I'll draw them from even closer.
Can't you duct tape the silencer?
Oh, it's still pristine, so that's good. No, this server has that shut off because they thought it was stupid. I agree. It is kind of dumb. Oh, my health's coming back. I don't think those two things I used did anything to help me, though.
No.
I can't. I cannot believe that I didn't even bleed, because I lost track of what I was doing. And I'm like, oh yeah, look at me blink. You're like, your health, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about I have health. Okay. Okay, now I need to okay, there's two of them. Okay, that's not going through the wall. Okay, this is going to be hard. Maybe the 9mm will work better. I have to try to shoot through the door, and that stupid 380 ammo is not working. I have to kind of guess where the head is too. Come on now. That's not working at all. What in the
So what
hell?
was your greatest benefit is now your greatest tragedy. This is indeed the strongest door in the land.
I'm not shooting the 9mm bullets. But the doors are supposed to be not bulletproof, but maybe just 9mm doesn't work.
This particular door
all
is unique.
Yes, it is. Oh my god. Okay, I do have this. But as soon as I shoot this gun, zombies are going to come from everywhere.
Well, why don't you just use a grenade then?
I don't have one.
Oh, I thought I saw grenades. Are those smoke grenades?
Maybe I can kill them by hitting them in the arm.
Ooh, can you throw something off the porch to make noise? Or is it too late to lure them away?
It is too late now. I think they smell blood.
Oh, okay.
All right, I can't kill that guy, so I need to do this. Okay.
Waiting with bated breath to see what this is.
Okay, let's go inside the church. Okay, make sure the doors are shut. Close the door. Okay, I lived.
Yay! Can you hear Nene in your head? Shut all the doors!
Yeah. Oh, God, I hope that
doors!
hope that door isn't open. That was so funny when she said that. She was so panicked. Okay.
Yay!
I'm safe in a church.
Sit on a bench, take a moment of silent reflection, eat some crunchy peaches.
It's so funny because things like that would happen all the time, and Mock would always go, "Jesus Christ, I don't know how you lived through that." Like he's got some kind of crazy luck, and I'm like, yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yep.
That door, oh my God, that door.
The door's awesome. This is a magic door of wonderfulness.
The weird thing about that door is if that door were shut, now we're just on the inside of the door, a lot of times they can glitch hits through the door.
Yeah,
but
they
for
can
some
run
reason,
their hand through it.
Yeah, for some reason though, open, it's impenetrable.
That's right.
Whatever, dude. All right. Well, I'm gonna take some vitamins. Clark, I can't help. That can't hurt. I'm gonna
drink a little water, take a little vitamin.
Okay. So anyway, I said, if you started a Twitch channel or a YouTube channel or something, you could get TYT, and they also know Kyle Kalinske. They know pretty much all the guy you hate. Oh wow, I left that door open. Whoops.
I don't hate him. He's just a jackass. But, a jackass on the side of the right.
Yeah, he's trying to be George Carlin, but he doesn't have the same anything really.
Right.
But yeah, so and he said strangely enough, we were thinking about doing a podcast, and also we had a video editor, but one guy's a dick and we're getting rid of him, and another guy died, and another guy quit and for personal reasons because of his family or something. Mm-hmm. So, are you interested in doing any of that? And I went, yes.
Uh-huh.
So it didn't take long for Mike to realize that I should be on the communications team instead of the fundraising team. And not just the fundraising, not just the communications team, the national communications team. So if you go to the website, you'll see a woman named Rennie. Mm-hmm. She is the person I talk to on a regular basis now, and she wants to go ahead with the podcast.
Awesome.
And wants me to be the host. And
of course.
I even said to her, I think you would be also a really good co-host, which I do think so, because she seems really comfortable in front of the camera, and also, of course, why not? Why wouldn't I say that? So that's what we're working on now. We're working on the Wolfpack Podcast streaming, and it will be, and some of my guests will be Cenk Uygur, Anna and John, and probably Kyle Kalinske, and they said that there'd be no shortage of guests. We have contacts in big politicians, and I was talking with the writing team the other day, and they have this thing called Airtable. It's an app, and what they do is you say, like, you have an idea for a story or an article. You put it in Airtable, and you just say, this is what I want to write about. Any writer can take it, write an article or a meme or whatever they want to write. Then they put it back in and say, ready for review, ready for edit. Then all the writers look at it and give their suggestions, and then you fix it or you change what you want. Then it goes back in, and then Rennie says it's a go, and then a different team puts it on where it should go, either Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Like, they have all these teams, okay?
Right.
Which is weird to me, because that's what I like doing, is coming up with ideas and asking people to do it.
Right. You're like, minions to do my creative bidding? Excellent.
And smart ones, really smart people. Like, it's insane. Yeah, exactly. It's like so crazy. And I was talking with one guy, and he's so smart. And I love it. It's just so, people that do what I can't do. I can't write a really meaningful thing in correct writing for the internet. I can write something, but somebody better fix it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what's going on right now. And she even said if I need any equipment, that more than likely we could do a fundraiser, and I'm sure we could come up with money. Like, all in like a month and a half, this all happened. And that's only reason why it took a month and a half is because we only meet once a week on Zoom. Like, I want to talk every night, pretty much.
Right, because you're into it.
Yeah, and that's the weirdest thing that I've had to deal with this, is they'll say something like, well, so we're going to talk about this today, and this, that, and this, that, and the other thing today. And everybody got their assignments, and we'll get back together next week. And I'm thinking, I don't really have that hard of an assignment. I could probably talk tomorrow, and I'll probably have a lot of questions and ideas to bounce off people, but I have to wait a week. So I started texting with her and stuff and saying, maybe we should talk more, because I am like on fire, and I have to wait a week. Every week that goes by, I'm that's only one step. I'm used to 16 hours power doing something,
right.
and then collapsing, eating and collapsing. Not one task, and then a week later, I did it. Oh, you have to fix this. Okay, see you next week. One task. I don't work well that way. I need to just really just be in it. So now I kind of bug her a lot, but how exciting is that?
It's super exciting, and I think it is perfectly in your wheelhouse.
Oh my God.
I told you that the first thing you needed to do, based on the interview that I watched, was coach that guy on camera.
Which one? Sorry.
The guy who you got put in touch with, who runs Wolfpack. You sent me a video of him being interviewed.
By
and
Jake.
I was like, I was like, dude, you need to give him some camera coaching.
Yeah, he knows a lot, but he's not good with cameras, pretty much.
Yeah, totally. And that's all it is. Like, his delivery's off because he's not hitting his lenses. He's not making his contact. And so he kind of looks like he's staring off into space. Yeah. I mean, he's articulate.
Oh, yeah. And he knows so much.
Incredibly articulate. Yeah. Like, it's not that. He just needs a little coaching around connecting.
And now I'm in a situation where I need to do catch-up homework to learn things. Because, like, they keep saying things like, we want to make an amendment to the Constitution, 28th Amendment to the Constitution. And I'm just like, great. And I feel like that John Mulaney thing where, like, and I can't tell you how frustrating it is to not know what that means. And then, and so then I learned what it was and everything. But then, like, so my first thought always is, why isn't everybody thinking the same thing? This all sounds perfect. So what is it that the opposing side doesn't like about this? And apparently, they will
lose power.
Well, no, not those people. I mean, the people that are on the same side that think that money in politics is bad, but they say we don't want to have a convention because, and I'm like, why? I don't even know what a convention is, but however, so apparently when you have a convention, there's this like there's this propaganda out there that it means that it's possible that people could bring up something like, I think we should throw out the entire Constitution, and if 2/3 of the people vote for it, the Constitution's dead. Like, and so that's what people keep saying. you can't have a convention because that could cause a giant problem with the Constitution, which is ludicrous to say the least. That they're worried about. It's just people lying, pretty much, saying that's a problem.
Well, okay, if you want to see about the process, I'll try to find you a decent video with a decent level of engagement to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you should look at the process of the ERA.
Okay, what is the ERA?
Exactly, right?
Yes.
The ERA was the last time we came close to amending the Constitution.
Okay.
And the ERA was the Equal Rights Amendment.
Ah, they've said those words.
Yes. So essentially, it was seeking equal rights, predominantly for women. It came out of the second wave feminist movement.
Right.
And it went through like the entire process of how to be a constitutional amendment.
Okay.
But it essentially got killed off because it has to be a certain number of states have to vote for it.
Oh, right. 2/3.
Yes, and that's where it kept getting killed. And
Yes.
so, like, a lot of people already feel like we've got equal rights and la 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 la.
Right.
And so the ERA can really give you an idea of how you can have this massive thing with massive buy-in, with massive work behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, years of effort
Right.
went into the Equal Rights Amendment. And then it was just stillborn.
Yeah, and actually that's...
And a lot of people think it got passed. They like think it's law. Like, no.
Oh God.
No, it's not. Because
Yeah.
it was a big talking point in the 70s.
Right.
So people are like, didn't they do that?
Right. We have equal rights.
Right? Don't we have equal rights? Like, no, we don't.
Yeah. He was saying. Well, right now there are four states that are for the 28th Amendment, or no, to call a convention, I should say.
Right.
Vermont, California, Illinois, and New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And Vermont was the first, of course.
Right.
But
Civil
then,
unions, we always are.
yeah. But then this other group, which I can't remember their name,
Swept in to say, oh, fuck no.
yeah, and so they started working hard against
Yeah.
Wolfpack, and they have a $20 million budget every year to do so, and Wolfpack doesn't. So they'll just come in at the last minute and just start buying people off and sending people, like, these really skilled talkers to come in and talk about how...
They're
Yeah.
called lobbyists.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
their job.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So-
they're real good at it.
Right. So one of the things that we want to do with the podcast is get that information out there so you can debunk that stuff.
Right.
Like, you're not gonna slavery's not gonna come back if we have a convention. It's just not. It's just stupid. It's a stupid because at one point the something double CP, what's it called? NAACP.
NAACP.
Yeah. Was totally on board, and someone came in and said, and talked fancy, and said, slavery could become a thing again if you bring a convention, and it was killed. I think I can't remember what state it was, but that's what keeps on happening now. So what I was saying was, if you want fundraising and you want people to hear about it, a podcast and a stream backed by all these online already doing well shows. I mean, if TYT tells its ridiculous amount of followers, hey, there's a Wolfpack now as a podcast, and it ends up being good, which I'm sure it would, that would be a way to get the information out there instead of just chatting with somebody for a little while and then saying, "Hey, do you want to volunteer?"
Yeah.
For this
No,
magic.
you should totally have Ben Kissel on too.
Who's that?
Ben Kissel is one of the hosts of Last Podcast on the Left,
Mm-hmm.
but he also runs a political podcast called Abe Lincoln's Top Hat. And he actually used to be a Fox News freelancer in the bad old days.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's a liberal.
So yeah, that's another thing actually you just reminded me. Another really cool thing about Wolfpack is the people that I'm working with are all they're everyone.
Diverse.
Yeah, it's not liberals. I mean, there's a lot
No.
more of more liberals and progressives, but
Right.
conservatives and center.
Fiscal conservatives, it would make sense.
Oh yeah, it's so
Yeah.
crazy that the nonpartisanship. I mean, everybody was they're so on board, and there's like this list of values and rules. Like, this is not about left,
Has
right,
to be
and
bigger
center.
than party.
Yeah. So it's really interesting to me. That's actually the only thing that I can see being a problem. Not that I can't do it, but that I wouldn't enjoy doing it. I'm definitely able to be center and be like fair. Even if a Trump supporter started yelling at me. So I think that is something that I'd be really good at for the podcast, is being very.
Yeah, you just need to have your Costco person on.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
But when I was thinking about doing how's that logical, I was thinking it would be a fun thing to do to just go on there and bitch. But it wouldn't be about that. It would be about being diplomatic. It'd be Captain Picard.
Right. Oh, totally. Yeah, and you've got that skill set. Like, I'm not concerned about that with you at all.
Yeah, because they were saying that they wrote some like little things like this. Like one time they wrote an article, and they checked it with everybody. Everybody was like, "Yeah, good to go," and launch. And all these conservatives got mad because they used the word democracy once. And all I could think of was, what? Because they think of it as a republic.
We're a republic, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a bad thing, a democracy. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there are Republicans that don't like democracy? I don't get that. That doesn't even make any sense. What's a republic then? Is that non-democratic? I don't understand.
We are a representative democracy, but we are a republic, which it lets you know that a republic has a balance between a strong centralized government and states' rights.
Okay.
So, essentially we are a confederation of states.
Okay.
And they never want you to forget that states have power.
Right. Okay. Democracy would mean that the states don't, the government decides for the states.
Yeah, that it would give more power to a centralized government.
Oh, okay. Well, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that now, because I've never understood what the big frickin' deal of using the word democracy was.
And there isn't. I mean, honestly, as most people understand it.
Right.
Because, democracy used to mean one man, one vote. And literally it meant one white male over 35 landowner.
Right, exactly.
One vote. And this is back in the birthplace of democracy. We're talking back in ancient Greece.
Right.
But yes, there's always been a huge thing. Like in the Roman period, you would have the Caesars, and then the Caesars would be overthrown by the Senate, and Rome would turn back into a republic again.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yep.
Where there's much more power in the hands of the people.
Right.
Than in the hands of the central government. And then eventually war would break out and another Caesar would rise up and...
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, What would your what are your negatives to like doing something with Wolfpack? Just busy, or you just don't want to get into like stuff?
I've just had my heart broken too many times.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I did my anti-globalization protesting. I've done
Right.
direct action. I've, stormed the halls of justice. I've letter written. I've, illicitly put mailers into newspapers. I've done a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
Tired.
well, no, jaded.
You think it's
Like
hopeless?
when George W. Bush
Mm-hmm.
won the election,
Right.
after the whole hanging chads and the Supreme Court and the la. Like, honestly, I believe we're headed towards another civil war.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be in my lifetime, so I'm not particularly concerned about it.
Like
But
actual
I think it will be in your children's lifetime.
Wow. So actually, like people taking up like arms and fighting.
Or more like the dissolution of the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm. In what
You
way?
know, think about how the Soviet Union now has disintegrated into various states.
Right.
Now we're back to Yugoslavia and Czechoslovakia, and all of those used to be one big central thing.
Right.
Like, quite simply, a state like California,
Yeah, the fourth largest income in the world.
yeah, could easily secede
Right.
and be like, you know what? We're so sick of
Right.
playing this game
Right.
that, like, we're going to take our economy and go home.
Right. And that would be such a
So-
blow to
So
all the other
suck
states.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true.
You know? Like, we're sick of placating your ignorance.
Right. And what could we do about it
We're
besides?
sick of trying to cooperate,
Right.
So Washington State, California, and whatever the third state is that's along that coastline, I forget.
Oregon.
Yeah, decide to declare themselves their own country.
Right. Huh. And then the U.S. government would have to decide whether or not they want to do something about it.
Right. And they have no choice. It's like when your wife says she's going to leave and she cleaned out the bank account.
Oh. Oh, okay. You don't think the government would be like, okay,
No.
because they're a big part of obviously our economy.
Well, and refer back to all of the blue states
Yeah.
generate income.
Right.
All of the red states take more from the federal government than they pay in.
Oh God, they wouldn't agree with you at all. But I know you're right.
But it's you could disagree with the economics of it all you want. When you look at the flow of money,
Right.
Essentially, it would be as if the blue states were sick of living with their freeloading relatives who never do the dishes. And instead sit out in the backyard skeet shooting at empty beer bottles all day long.
So you want to be
talking about how amazing they are.
So you want to be a reoccurring guest though in the show though, don't you?
Oh no, thank you.
What? Come on. That's ridiculous.
No, I can't. Not without, because my speech patterns are really identifiable, and like
Oh,
what I am doing
yeah, I understand.
is really important.
Right. I get
You
it.
know, like I am here in their cradles and they don't know it.
Right.
And it's important that they don't know it. Because the minute they know it, I will be incredibly ineffective.
Hmm. Oh, dear.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what it is my activism has gone from being very much in the world
Mm-hmm.
to being very much local. You know, my activism has turned into my teaching.
Right.
You know, I meet and influence children who would never have the opportunity to meet or interact with anybody like me ever.
Right. That's true. That's a good
Because
point.
they live in such a closed little bubble where it's such a hive mind.
Right.
And I am like relentlessly reminded of what an anomaly I am. Because
Right.
even the adults that I like my latest discovery is a super sweet, young, totally geek guy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Like totally awesome. And I thought, oh, here is someone, you know, and a great heart for the kids and a good educator and all that fun stuff. And then what was the first one? Oh, this is the first one that let me know. It's a picture of a hospital bed with the Constitution laid on it. And it says, Constitution dies of coronavirus.
Interesting.
And then the post was, if a business can refuse service because you're not wearing a mask, then they can also refuse to bake your cake.
Oh, God. That is so not a comparison.
It's so wrong.
The critical
right?
thinking skills are so
No,
terrifying.
but that's the thing. Highly educated, highly intelligent, excellent educator.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea, uber Christian, uber right wing.
Right.
And then today it went from flattening the curve to not until we find a cure. From social distancing to stay at home until we say so. From weeks to we don't know how many months. From we're in it together to snitch on your neighbors. From liberty to comply or be fined and go to jail.
Right.
And the comment posted with the meme was, if you give them an inch, they take your constitutional rights.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh, another one that I can't let know who I am.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And like one woman, she and I have very much cultivated the beginnings of a friendship because I don't have any friends here. And, you know, we've had some good conversations, and she lost her mom. So I tried to be supportive through that. And definitely, like, we've built rapport.
Mm-hmm.
And so she wanted to make some masks for her family. And I had purchased some of the Hydro Weave fabric that they're saying is pretty effective.
Right.
So I was like, look, if you're going to make masks, like, let me bring some of this over for you so that you can use it as a liner inside your masks. And she was like, oh, you don't have to, but that would be great. Great. So I drive over and I got the stuff in a plastic bag and put it out the car window for one of her sons to take into the house. And in the front lawn, standard height flagpole, top flying the US flag, right underneath it, Trump 2020. And again, this person is not my friend. They don't have the capacity to be my friend.
Right.
But what I'm doing here is important because those kids don't meet many people like me.
That's true. Yeah. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. You know, were there no potential consequences? I'd be like, yes, absolutely. Put me in. It'd be amazing and fun.
Yeah.
But I watched this insular little town eat one of their own 2 years ago.
How so?
For making a misstep. Somebody born and raised here.
Wow.
Whose family goes back 3 generations.
Oh, wow.
And they ate him alive.
Why? What happened?
It was just, you know, it was political.
Right.
And, you know, all of a sudden there was a meeting, and it was, even though a stellar work record, never, you know, anything under an exemplary rating or that. And essentially it was, well, you can fight this through the union if you want to, but if you fight it, you'll get blacklisted in the district. Well, owns property, has a child, a brand new child that just arrived, you know, and so didn't fight, got picked up at a different job within the same district. But now doesn't work in their own hometown anymore. Because essentially got run out of their own hometown.
Wow.
Yeah, so now they drive 45 minutes every day.
Because they didn't feel safe?
No, because a couple of parents didn't like something that was going on. You don't realize the power that parents have.
They stayed living where they were. They just started working somewhere else. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, instead of being able to drive 5 minutes down the road and work at a school that's in their hometown, the hometown that they've grown up in, that their parents and their grandparents have invested in, that they've been known and know their whole lives.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know, and multiple of their relatives also work here.
Right.
And so no, if they'll eat one of their own alive, what will they do to someone who has no ties here?
Right. Yeah, that's funny. Mock used to talk like that too. He'd say that he has to be careful where he lived because he was pretty liberal, and he was in Texas in the oil industry.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just the nice, happy, fat lady. They don't know me at all. They don't. She's so nice. And she is. Yes, she is.
So, like, if you're talking with one of the kids, you would like to sort of plant seeds here and there?
I ask questions.
Yeah, that is the best way to do it.
You know? So what does that mean? Or I'll say, well, but do you know about this? And I'll take them down an internet wormhole on history.
Right.
So, for example, the other night I was working with a student who is 15.
Mm-hmm.
And they are living in a house where the virus is fake. It came from China.
Yeah.
Bill Gates is trying to get us all microchipped.
God.
And this is all happening because we are living in the end of days.
Oy.
Now, to be clear, this is what the adults in this child's home believe.
Right.
To the core of their being. And so, you know, I've worked with this kid for 3 years, and you know, this kid sees me as a smart person in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, he's asking me, like, Miss, like, if they do come out with a vaccine, like, do you think you're gonna get it? And I was like, well, you know, it really depends on how fast it was developed and what kind of testing is behind it. Like, I'll look at the data behind it and I'll make my decision based on how safe I think it would be. I might wait till the second round or the third round. But, you know, once I believe that they have a safe and effective vaccine, absolutely I'll get it. Oh, but Miss, like, what about the microchips? And, you know, and I was like, dude, we don't have that technology. He was like, how do you know? And I was like, well, that used to be my job. And so, you know, it's pretty great to be able to say, I used to manufacture those products. Let me tell you how they're made.
Right.
You what? And I was able to say, look, go on Google, Google this, Google that. You used to wear that suit, Miss? Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, look, we have the technology to embed chips, but they're physically large.
Right.
You know, they're about the size of a grain of rice. They leave a bump. You can't just slip them into an injection. I was like, I wish we were at that place where we had that kind of human integrated technology. And we'll get there in your lifetime, honey, but we're not there yet.
Right. That's, you know, amazing that someone thinks that we're there. That is so sci-fi.
Not someone. A poll just came out the other day that 50% of Fox News viewers have said that they would not get the vaccination if it came out tomorrow.
Huh. Seems like we have a little social Darwinism happening.
Well, but the problem is they'll take the herd with them.
Yeah.
You know, if it was just... If it was just... You know.
Yeah.
If it was just them, if they only had the capacity to impact themselves, then fine. But that's not the truth.
Right. Wow. That's blows my mind, that stuff.
Well, but like that's part of the reason why people like Mock and I are embedded in those places.
I think you had different motives. But
oh, totally. Yeah, his was enrichment.
Yeah,
Let's be clear.
I used to talk to him about that stuff. I'm like, do you ever try to subtly, you know, talk to people and stuff? He's like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, it's like these people, and then he would go into a big story about how his town was like business as usual, like nothing was going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is. It's totally. My community, guess what they did yesterday?
What?
Yes.
They had a parade?
They did!
Yeah, that's coming. I'm surprised it was yesterday, but...
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Isn't that
had a
early?
Parade. Huh?
Isn't that early? Isn't it supposed to be tomorrow or Monday?
No, it was to celebrate the 2020 graduates.
Oh.
Because nothing says celebration like gathering together bringing home a lethal disease to the most vulnerable in your home.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Yep.
It's funny because here
Mm-hmm.
we have signs on out on people's yards that say, "I have a graduate 2020,"
Uh-huh.
but that's it. Like you don't see anybody. It's just that's how they're celebrating. Or they have
Yeah.
like drive-by parades, like
Uh-huh.
of cars. Like their friends will drive by and shout out, "Congratulations!" and keep driving.
Yeah, no, it's been very popular here. They've gotten those signs. Ask how they've gotten them.
How they get them?
Because a convoy of 20 people shows up at their house and they all take pictures of them hugging and hanging out with the grad who's holding the sign. So it's literally bringing the disease door to door.
Oh, jeez.
And then the pictures are getting published on the platforms, the public platforms for the schools. Like, look what we're doing. Isn't it great?
Wow.
No masks, lots of hugs. So many hugs.
Wow.
So many hugs.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's funny. Well, here they're starting to slowly bring everything back and or whatever, and so
Right.
other stores like ours are opening.
Yeah.
And, and so we're getting calls like, "Hey, you guys open yet?" And I've just been saying, no, we're gonna wait about 20 days past this to see what happens because I don't believe this is right. I don't think it's over, and if things start spiking, we'll still be at home. But we're happy to do everything curbside, and I'll meet you somewhere in a parking lot with gloves and a mask. But I'm not going to open the doors for people to come in, and nope, not yet. Not with a 3-year-old and an 84-year-old in the house. Not to mention that whole thing about old people being the worst. It's not true, especially in America. We have a lot of issues with health in America that do not go to just old people. Maybe in China everybody's healthy that's young. I don't know, but here there's a lot of unhealthy 30-year-olds. But people are like, it's just for the old. Nope. No, it's not.
Yeah.
So depressing. Well, I feel really good because I haven't felt like I've had a purpose in a really long time. Since probably my friend Larry died. And it's his fault because he's the one that would say, just make sure you're doing something, man. Make sure you're making a difference. And he would always say stuff like
Larry.
that. And before he knew he was dying, he would say things like, I have so many friends that are out there and they won't talk to me because I feel like they think if they talk to me, I might say, so you still writing? You still making films? You still doing stuff? You making a difference? And they don't want to hear that, because he never bullshitted. It wouldn't be small talk with Larry. It'd be right into the meat immediately. He wasn't judgmental. He just knew what your passion was, and he wouldn't have been your friend if you didn't have a passion, because he just wouldn't find you interesting. You know what I mean? So he would ask about it. So if you've abandoned anything that was huge in your life, you would be reminded of it by just simply being in the room with him because he would tell you.
Right.
Ask about your passion. You used to. So that's cool. So you have a kid now. It's good. You still writing? No. A little bit. Maybe sometimes. I write on Facebook posts.
Right.
So So like I've been really I mean I've tried so many things. I started that harmony.com and I was going to write stuff on there. Then I was thinking about writing a documentary on conflict, just looking for something to make some sort of a difference, but I just kept on going, I don't know enough about that. That's going to be too hard to figure out. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. Just nothing was clicking. But this seems like something I can really do. I mean, I'm kind of doing it right now. You know?
Yeah.
It's just I would have. Oh, that's what I was saying about that Airtable thing, which I got off track of. So they have that thing where they put stuff in and then people edit it and stuff like that. So when I was looking at this thing called Airtable, I was going, oh my God, there's the content for the podcast. Because all the writers of Wolfpack are writing articles about current events which have to do with money and politics. I just have to go there and go, that looks interesting. Read it. Get familiar with it enough.
Let's talk to these people.
Yeah. Oh, it turns out in Minnesota there was a senator that was just blah 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 blah, and then you just go on and you have a guest that might maybe we can talk to the person that didn't win there or did win or whatever, and you just and all I would do is ask questions because I don't know much about it, to be honest, and but I do have the ability to listen to facts, make logical conclusions, and ask more questions.
Well, and the reality is you will become more educated via that process.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it just seems... But here's the thing. Here's the thing that's driving me crazy. Why was it so easy for them to be like, yes, you? Because... I know these people have lots of contacts. They most of them live in LA, for God's sake, and they know everyone that has to do with everything about this. Why? And it really makes me go, what? Why so easily? Yes, you. They haven't even heard me do anything. I've never.
Because you're wonderfully charismatic.
Well, maybe that's true. I don't know about that. But,
maybe that's true.
Well, I'm just trying to... I'm really trying
That's adorable. Don't humble brag.
No, I'm really trying to figure it out logically. Like, I have to... even something that makes me uncomfortable.
Part of your problem is you have always suffered the same fatal flaw as my dad.
Okay.
My dad... is a big fish in a small pond. And so I think on some level, his belief was, I am a big fish because I am in a small pond.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't really want to go beyond my small pond because, for him at least, it would be ego devastating.
Right.
To find out that he isn't actually
it's
a big
very,
fish.
very, very valid point.
Which, for me, going to live in all these different places and getting to have all of these different experiences has given me not more of an ego, because that's the wrong way of saying,
confidence?
But it's given me a confidence in my skill set. Because I am me, and I bring that with me wherever I go.
Right.
And people respond to it. You know?
Right.
And so it's recognizing, like, oh, I wasn't a big fish in a small pond. I was actually a fairly moderate fish who was completely capable of swimming the ocean.
That's great. Yeah. Yep.
And so, you've always been the best in your little tiny acting class, or you've always been the best in your little tiny world.
That makes me uncomfortable.
What? It's the truth.
Well, I don't think I was the best.
And you've always been the charismatic leader, but of your own tiny little tribe. And so it's very easy to say, well, that's not the world, or that's not.
Right. Like
because you haven't gotten a chance to bring your skill set out and to see how it functions in a variety of settings. I think it'll be very good for you.
I hope so. Otherwise, it's got to be one or the other, because you can't really get nothing out of it. It's going to be either good or devastating, one or the other.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be very good for you, because I think you're suddenly going to realize that, like, oh, wow, I am this unique creature that does things that captivate people. Yeah. You know, and like, how great that I have that skill and that talent. Now, I'm never going to do open heart surgery. I'm never going to be a ballet dancer. I am never going to be, you know, there's a million things that other people will do better than me my entire life.
Right.
But in this thing that is my forte, I'm good.
And I don't even know what it is, because I know it's not retaining facts.
No, your superpower was and always has been connecting to people.
Yes, I do connect to people. That is true. I do.
Yeah, whether it be in your romantic life, whether it be in your friendships, whether it be in your employment.
Right.
You have a very unique power to put people at their ease, to engage people, and to get them to cooperate by subtly guiding them towards your goals and objectives.
And I will add, but not to harm them.
No, totally not. No.
Because, yeah.
Oh my God. If you had wanted to be a cult leader, you'd have been a great cult leader. You'd have been up to your armpits in 22-year-old hotties if that had been your thing.
Do you know how many times I have talked somebody out of upselling someone in our business because I didn't think it was right? And it's funny. Yeah. Chris is just like, did you just talk that person into a tungsten ring?
Right, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so that's what I'm. So yeah, so my insecurities are my difficulties in remembering facts and keeping them. Right. That's my biggest insecurity is.
But you don't have to. The coast doesn't have to.
Right. Like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan. He's mostly high all the time going, wow.
So, you can go with, that's fascinating. Tell me more about that.
Right.
And then, you switch back to, hey, last Wednesday on the show, la la la.
Right.
We've done some fact checking and actually, la 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 la.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a blast.
Yeah. No, I think you will be an excellent choice, if only for the even-keeled pleasantness that you bring to the table. Like, you will be able to engage with all of the different folks that need to be engaged with.
Right.
And you'll do it in a way that's very sincere. And I don't think a lot of people have that without coming off as fake. And with you, it's not fake, because even when you disagree, you are always striving to understand.
Yeah, and people don't understand that. They think you're being cynical or being patronizing. And I'm like, no, I'm sincerely asking you, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah. What were you thinking? I really want to know, sir.
Why were you drilling holes in those people's skulls?
Yeah, like what was the first time you actually thought? Did something happen when you were a child? Like, I really want to know. I may not like you, but just so you know, it's possible.
Right,
but
right.
I'm willing to
eating at a restaurant that you created.
But I'm willing to put that aside to have this conversation where I can understand what the hell you were thinking. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just really need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I do that on Facebook posts all the time, and people will start freaking out on me, and I'll be like, I was really asking. That was not sarcasm. I wasn't.
Which is great because when somebody does that in a media setting, they are automatically the asshole.
Right.
And that's great for you because you don't ever want to be the asshole.
That's funny. Yeah, that's actually been an issue several times. Not. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Let's just say Krista has definitely had her share of frustrations with me if I happen to not agree with her and not take her side.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love her and would kill the person that is right to save her, I'm not going to just say something that's not true if I don't believe it. Even I'm really bad at that. And I know that a lot of people do that. Like they'll just stick by whoever they're with.
Tribe.
Yeah, tribe. I'm not a tribe person. I'm not a tribe person. I can't. I would just wait a minute. But what if they're right? How dare you say that? Well, I'm just saying it's possible. I mean, what if they were thinking this? You don't know what happened to them. They could have had a bad day. What the? And it's funny because I'll see her do that to me, except she'll be on my side and I know I'm wrong. And I'll think,
right,
what are you doing? I feel bad now. Because she's got my back no matter what.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And I'll challenge her no matter what. That's the problem.
Well, it's not necessarily a problem. I mean, some of us need someone there to pump the brakes.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. All right. I had to scroll through our messenger because I needed to remember the serial killer I wanted to tell you about.
Yes, please.
All right. Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
Married to Michelle McNamara.
Right. That sounds really familiar. Who is that?
Michelle McNamara?
Why does that sound super familiar?
Because I sent you links to her stuff. I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
No, I mean audio. I wouldn't remember that by reading it.
Well, I mean, she blew up like a year ago.
Okay.
Because that's when they caught the Golden State Killer.
Okay.
Who is also the Scarsboro rapist.
Okay. New York?
Nope, this is California.
Oh, okay.
So this guy terrorized throughout the 70s. He would break into houses. He would hide in the house.
Creepy.
And then at first he only did women. But then he started to really like ambushing couples. And what he would do is he would hog tie the male. And he would do something like pile a stack of dishes on the man's back while he was tied up and laying on his stomach.
Because of noise?
And then he would take the woman into another room and viciously sexually assault her.
Oh my God.
Telling the man,
fucked up.
If you move so that the dishes smash, I'm going to kill her and I'm going to kill you.
Ugh.
So the man would have to listen.
Horrifying.
As the love of his life was violated. And so, Jesus. I mean, this was a huge thing. Whole communities were up in arms.
Yeah.
There was a town hall that was held where people were like flipping out. And like one guy got up and he started talking about like, I don't understand how these men let this happen to their families and, blah, 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 blah. And we know that the Golden State Killer was there at that town hall because a few weeks later, he broke into that man's home. And he did it to him and his wife.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. And he kept getting away, and he kept getting away, and they had no leads. And I mean, it's just like this huge, intricate web. And like she did the research that put together that the Scarborough rapist and the Golden State Killer and like she connected all these cases in a way that they basically thought he was 3 different perpetrators.
Right.
Who were doing 3 different things. But she like wove all the cases together. And of course, the DNA held out that she was right. And at the end of Michelle's book, she wrote a piece that was called A Letter to an Old Man. Because it's called I'll Be Gone with in the Dark, is because one of the things he liked to do to the women that he raped was he would rape them brutally.
Yeah.
And then he would
Yes. Are you typing it?
and when they finally believed that he wasn't there anymore and started to move,
Wait a minute.
he would
wait a minute. You cut out for a second. You said
no, I didn't, because that's what the fucker would do.
What?
He would sit in the room quiet.
Oh.
Until she started to think he was gone.
Ugh.
And then he would say something or do something to scare her and then rape her again. Sometimes he would do that 2 or 3 times.
What kind of mental
shit
did this person go through?
Yeah, he was fucked up.
Wow.
So.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, isn't that horrible?
Oh, that's like worse stuff.
It's the worst psychological torture, because you're finally beginning to uncurl from this ball of torment because you think it might be over and he might be gone. And all of a sudden he's on you.
Oh God.
And you know, one of his victims, he said, they're never, you're never going to catch me. You'll be here in pain and I'll be gone in the dark. And that's why she called her book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark. So here's her letter that she wrote to him. Okay. Called Letter to an Old Man. One day soon you'll hear a car pull up on your curb, an engine cut out. You'll hear footsteps coming up your front walk, like they did for Edward Wayne Edwards 29 years after he killed Timothy Hack and Kelly Drew in Sullivan, Wisconsin. Like they did for Kenneth Lee Hicks 30 years after he killed Lori Billingsley in Aloha, Oregon. The doorbell rings. No side gates are left open. You're long past leaping over a fence. Take one of your hyper-gulping breaths. Clench your teeth. Inch timidly towards the insistent bell. This is how it ends for you. And she was right. After her book was a New York Times bestseller, like within 3 months of her book dropping, one of this son of a bitch's cousins took a 23andMe DNA test, and it hit on his DNA. And they started tracking all the males who were in the right age group, because he's like in his 70s now.
Wow.
And he thought that he had gotten away with it all. And when he was doing this, during part of the time that he was raping and murdering, he was a cop. And they kind of thought he might have been a police officer because of how he interacted and how he misdirected people.
Right.
And
he had skills.
was. Yeah, he was. He was fired from the police department in part for shoplifting a hammer and dog repellent spray. That's what he was using dog repellent spray for.
To repel dogs?
Yeah, because he's a fucking rapist
Okay.
and a murderer.
I was hoping it was just that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, like, yeah, he's just a son of a bitch.
Wow.
But, like, as a man, like, can you imagine
No.
being tied up there
No, that's
with
awful.
your own kitchen dishes piled cold in the
No.
center of your back as you hear Krista?
Let's be honest, I wouldn't be in that situation.
Oh, no, yeah, because you'd go fucking apeshit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah, which is good because Krista would be on board with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's only one way this ends.
Yeah.
Either both of us are going down swinging,
Yeah, I don't.
or this piece of shit gets torn up.
Oh my god! People make a lot of mistakes to get in that situation.
So yeah,
Man,
yeah.
that is
Had
messed
to
up.
give you the synopsis because I was like, oh, this will infuriate him.
So wait, so Patton Oswalt finished her book?
He got together with the two of people who had been collaborating with her. So she had, like, more than half of it was done.
Right.
And so he hired these two guys who had been, like, one of them was her research assistant, and, like, essentially he made sure that this book that was her, like, lifelong passion project got published. And so because, like, first of all, Michelle McNamara has been a crime writer. She's an amazing journalist. And so, like, people in the true crime community loved her in her own right. But then, like, when she died suddenly, and then when Patton, like, finished her work, and, like, he took her book on tour. You know, he went and did the book signings. He went and spoke, like, he did the press junket for it. Which is totally not his wheelhouse, but it didn't matter because he loved her.
Right.
And this was her thing.
Wow.
And he wasn't going to let it die with her. And so, like, I think all of the predominantly women in the true crime community were just like, we fucking love you. Like, what a dedicated little nerd you are. Like,
Right.
You're wonderful. Let us love you up for loving the strong, fierce woman that you married.
Wow. Yeah.
And then, like, to have the Golden State Killer bound and locked up.
Right.
And he went out again and he made the rounds, you know, talking about Michelle, his wife, and talking about the work that she did, and talking about, you know, how it would have felt for her to be in that moment. And, you know,
Yeah.
it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is really awesome.
Well, yeah, we love that little chunky man.
I do actually really love him a lot.
Oh, me too.
I love his
oh my God.
his brain is so perfect.
Yeah, I don't geek out over many human beings, but he's definitely on the list of people I would have to restrain myself not to hug and kiss on the forehead. Like, you don't know this man. You're not allowed to snuggle him into your bosom and kiss him on your forehead.
You only feel like you know him.
That's right.
You're a complete stranger to him.
Yes. While you would enjoy that moment, he would not. So we no touchy.
No touch. Wow. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
poor
nuts.
guy.
I think I know where McNamara comes from now. I think I've heard that in sports before. Something McNamara.
Yeah, a tennis player.
That's McEnroe. Or is there another one? Is there a McNamara?
Let me see. I don't know. No, I'm Googling.
Because I know that name is that last name is like keeps ringing in my head. Maybe it was a, you know what? Maybe it was a hall at UVM. It might have been the Mac. God, what is that?
Pete McNamara was an Australian tennis player.
Pete's not working for me.
He was big in '83.
Yeah, that's probably not it. God, what is it? It's driving me crazy. Oh well. It's okay. Luckily, I'll just forget. It's my life. Are you worried about that? Nope. Because if you quiet for a little while, I'll completely forget.
Well, Robert McNamara was the Secretary of Defense for Kennedy and Johnson.
Nope, not it. Something
I didn't
McNamara.
think so.
McNamara. God, what is it? Son of a bitch. Oh well. Wow, yeah, that is great. That's amazing. What a douchebag. Now is that guy dead now?
Oh no, they are still getting ready.
Getting ready? They're getting ready for what? I think you went silent again. Are you doing that thing? I no longer can hear you. Oh, you disappeared. The internet must have died. Aw, I lost Cygnus. Yep, she's just out of Discord completely. Goodbye. Gone. Must have hit the off button. Well, I'm going to wait for her, but I am going to say goodnight as far as streaming goes. Because it's midnight and I got to go. That was an interesting story. She's probably going to text me. So everybody have a good night. I'll have more stories next time. Oh, you're back. Now I just can't hear you. You're just there.
I'm just there. Sorry.
No.
Hi.
What happened? Did you shut your computer off?
Yeah, my Discord stopped. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, weird.
Sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing that thing again with that guy.
No. Sorry. Was not trying to be creepy.
No, I
realized mid monologue as I'm looking it up.
Mid monologue.
I'm like, and then he said this, and then that motherfucker said this. Because now I'm in the. He used to call people that he had raped.
Oh God.
And taunt them.
What the?
So like he
fuck?
called one of them during Christmas.
What is wrong with the brain?
And said, "Merry Christmas, it's me again."
Oh my God.
Yeah. Or he called the Sacramento police to tell them, "You're never going to catch me. East Area rapist, you dumb fuckers. I'm going to fuck again tonight. Be careful."
Really? What?
Mm-hmm.
That's a broken brain right there.
Yeah.
A very broken brain.
He called one victim and just said, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
God.
I'm going to kill you. Bitch. Bitch. Fucking whore."
Wow.
And he called one, and all he said to her was, "Remember when we played?"
God, that's so much torment.
Oh, he thrived
Yeah.
on it. He would also do this thing where like he would like go get a snack. He liked to get a little snack mid rapey because it takes a lot out of you. Because apparently he had a very small little ding dong. So
Thank goodness.
I mean, honestly, he was into sodomy too, but a lot of the women were like, nah,
Oh God.
like if you gotta get sodomized.
God, what a horrifying person.
So D'Angelo cannot be charged with the rapes or the burglaries because the statutes of limitations have expired.
What?
But he has been charged on 13 counts of murder and 13 counts of kidnapping.
Oh, well, that's good anyway. Jeez.
Yeah. So he was arraigned August 23rd, 2018.
Wow.
The prosecutors from the 6 involved counties collectively estimate that the case could cost taxpayers $20 million and last for 10 years.
Holy crap, he's 70.
Uh-huh. On April 10th, 2019, court proceedings, prosecutors announced that they would be seeking the death penalty. And the judge ruled that cameras would be allowed inside the courtroom during the trial.
Oh, boy.
And on March 4th, 2020, which is just recently,
Yeah.
D'Angelo offered to plead guilty if the death penalty was taken off the table. However, the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office countered by saying they wish to continue to seek the death penalty.
Wow.
And I'm sure all his living victims were like, hell yeah. Roast him slow and toasty.
At that point, is a state death penalty really anything? Like, it just, like, to me, one of the big things I have against the death penalty is it takes all the passion out of revenge. And I also don't agree with the death penalty because of lots of other reasons, but I really have a problem with civilized death penalty. It takes it away. Like, I don't like death penalty anyway, but the whole point of death penalty really is revenge or some kind of eye for an eye bullshit. So if you're going to do it right. I mean, in my opinion, it's just like, let the victims take him or something, or something. I've never liked that aspect of it.
Would you like to hear a different point of view?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I'm an animal rescue person, right?
Right.
Some animals are so dangerous, often because they're fearful, they were neglected, they were abused, whatever the reason. You are now left with an animal that is essentially living in misery because it's neurotic.
Right.
But is also dangerous to every other animal that it encounters.
Right.
And when you have an animal like that, the kindest thing you can do is put it down.
Right.
And it's not a joyful act.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a vengeful act. It is, okay. Like, and thus the last meal. You do the same thing for that dog that's so damn dangerous. It needs to be put down. You feed it a couple of cheeseburgers. You recognize that it might not even be that dog's fault, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
What you have on your hands is a dangerous animal.
Right.
And is it kinder to leave that dangerous animal muzzled and in a cage?
Right.
For years?
But see, yeah, you're so right. But I don't even mean you need to be kind to him. It's not that. It's for me, I said it badly, I think. I think what I mean is, I am all for somebody hunting somebody down and doing horrible things to someone if they killed someone they loved. I think that person I will stand up and applaud them. I also think that same person that did that should now be held accountable by the law. It's complicated in my brain.
Yeah. Well, and like, the idea of like, oh, give them to the victims or whatever. The problem with that then becomes you've let that person in their grief rend away a part of their own humanity.
Right. They've murdered someone.
And they have to live with that.
Yeah.
And
true.
like that changes them forever.
It's true. It's a good point.
And it's like, well, that's not as good as it would feel in the moment. And
I'm not even
I'm
sure if good's the word. But yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're in that howling primitive
yes, that kind of right
state,
fulfilling certain chemical needs.
It's a release.
Yeah.
You got endorphins going.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's good.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's true.
But
yeah, wow.
To live then with yourself. Because assumingly that victim is a moral person.
Right.
That victim is a person with compassion who now has to face. I don't think many people are comfortable with the lethality that's inside them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what you're capable of, and you accept what you're capable of. I know what I'm capable of. I accept what I'm capable of. I don't think most people are willing to acknowledge what they are.
Right. God, that makes me want to go look that shit up now.
Oh, it's a wormhole. You'll fall down a horrible, horrible, horrible wormhole. And
I'm surprised there's no documentary.
Oh, there will be. There'll be a movie. It'll come out.
Yeah.
But I think a part of it is so unsatisfying because he got to go and get married and have 3 daughters and live a normal little life.
How many years between the acts that he did and getting caught?
So, remember I told you that he was different people. So he started out as what they called the Visalia ransacker.
Oh, right.
And that was 74 to 75.
Oh, okay. So
right?
Stages.
Yeah. And then from 1976 to 1979, that's when he moved into Sacramento and became known as the East Area Rapist. And so she's the one, Michelle McNamara is really the one who put together that these 2 guys were the same guy.
Wow,
and that's
nice
when it
job,
came,
police.
Yeah. And that's when it came under the umbrella of the Golden State Killer.
Ah.
Yep.
Wow. And then, so like end of the 70s and then all the way up to 2016? That was when he finally got caught.
See when his well, and I mean, honestly, we don't know.
Right, what else he's done.
So, like, his attacks. I'm gonna cough. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
His attacks started in 76 and went through 79. And then some people think that he might have been the original Night Stalker as well. And the original Night Stalker went from 1979 to 1986. But again, he would experiment. He would change up his MO. He would change up his attacks.
Wow.
He would change up his method of death.
Messed up.
And he really liked couples, which is pretty rare but he needed to control the men.
Right.
You know, he needed to.
Kind of reminds me of the courier thing that happened in Essex. Not quite as bad, but.
What courier thing? I haven't heard.
Remember
about
the courier, the couple in Essex? You know, were you gone already?
Probably.
I mean, this is probably 10 years ago, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have been gone.
Oh, there's the, let's see. How do I tell you where it is? I'm trying to remember what that's called. But Susie Wilson Road?
Mm-hmm.
There's a development at the end of that goes into this, little place where you can go all around. There's no way out, but that development is like 4 or 5 developments back there.
Uh-huh.
Somebody went to this couple's house, this like kind of elderly couple, late 50s, 60s, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Elderly.
And, yeah, we're getting there.
I know. I'm like, I mean, this young couple.
Right. Is this just reaching the prime of their lives?
And he kidnapped them both.
Uh-huh.
And you know the road between Five Corners and McDonald's over by Hannaford?
Mm-hmm.
That road. There's an abandoned house. There was an abandoned house there. He brought them there and tied them up, but during the situation, I can't remember if he knocked them out or not. Just look up the couriers; you'll get more information from that. He tied them up, and then the woman got away, but she was so sad that she couldn't help her husband. She went back in to save him, and that's when he shot the guy and then shot her. And I can't remember if there's any other awful things, but so then he was oh hey Bakuda, I know. Sorry. What a lovely story.
Sit down. Tell us about your favorite
Dark
killer.
Tales in Kranos Place. So then this guy, now you're from here, you know. This doesn't happen here. So and then poof, disappeared. And so but to our community, the couriers were just gone. Nobody knew where they were. So I'm telling you the end, really. So eventually, someone got caught in Alaska and then for murder and confessed to doing this in Vermont. And it turned out you must have been right because he knew where the bodies were. And they were buried in the basement of that abandoned house that was on that road I was talking about. And then he told them what happened. So that's how they got all the details. But apparently what he would do is he would travel to a place.
Kits all around the country.
That's what he did.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know one of his kill kits was found down by the Winooski River?
Sorry, Coots. Yeah. Really?
Yes. A couple was hiking, and this was after he had already been caught and put and locked up. And he had said that he had kill kits buried all around. And they found one of his kill kits down behind the mills.
Oh my God! Yeah, he would do that a year in advance or so. He would plan.
Well, he'd just leave them around. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! What a fucking
with
lunatic!
Cash and everything else.
Lunatic.
He was a very successful serial.
Yeah, there's no other word for it.
Well, he operated for a long time without being detected.
The scariest thing,
always stranger attacks.
And that was the scariest thing about it was, it's no motive to what couple, just someone that he could get. That was all. That all that mattered. Yeah, that was it. No. Nothing wrong. And it's so funny because I had all these theories. I saw a picture of the couriers in the paper, and I was just like, this is like, 10 years ago. I was just like, he's gay. She found out. So he killed her. And now he's gone. Like, I was just like, from a picture in a paper. I'm so not that person anymore.
Right.
But I was just like, I figured it out, officer.
And the truth is so much stranger.
Oh, God. Oh, it's so horrible. Sorry, Coots. I know you're joking, but still, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, you ever want to go down a total wormhole? Look up the Ken and Barbie killers.
Ken and Barbie.
Oh my God, they're the cutest little 80s couple ever.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and Google Carla Homolka.
Oh God.
And they were Canadian.
Oh God.
Oh, he's getting that miscreated server set up.
Oh yay. Are you working on it, or are you just getting it? Are you just it's a go? Wow, Canadian, eh?
Oh yeah. And
jeez.
So he
the nicest serial killers ever.
Yeah, he was a rapist when they started dating. And they thought that women were like hysterical.
They're kind of
because they said that while they were being raped, they saw a hooded figure this was back in the old days of VHS, with a big ass video camera filming them being attacked. And so, like, even though more than one woman said this, the Canadian police basically assumed these women were hysterical.
Oh, that kind of hysterical.
Yes.
Not funny.
No.
Okay.
No. That essentially they were being traumatized, and so they were all imagining.
Oh God.
That there was someone else there filming their rape. But no, they were right. Once she started dating this rapist, she would roll along with him and film his attacks.
Jesus Christ, that's horrifying.
Yep. And did you see Kuda's thing? I've got one server, but found out. Okay. So yeah, he would roll along, which was always charming. So he had this whole thing with virginity. And he was upset that Carla wasn't a virgin.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that she had sex with one man before him.
Oh my God.
So basically, she decided one Christmas that she would give him the best present ever.
Oh God.
Her 14-year-old sister.
Oh my God.
So she worked as a vet technician, and she brought home tranquilizers.
All right, this is going to be our podcast.
Uh-huh.
Stories of serial killers.
You going, oh my God.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
It's impossible. Nobody's that loony. And you're like,
yeah. Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, so 14-year-old sister? What?
Christmas Eve.
Uh-huh.
And he rapes her, which is his Christmas gift, is her virginity. And Carla overdoes it on there's an inhalable that she's using on a rag on her face to keep her out.
Ugh.
And they end up killing her little sister.
God, what
and they make up a story about it, that it's an accidental death, that she was drinking, and she was drinking. They were the ones who gave her the alcohol. And so, yeah, she murdered her 14-year-old sister with her rapist boyfriend. And So then after that, they would role play with her as her dead sister, wearing her dead sister's clothes, and they would have sex in her dead sister's bedroom.
What?
So of course they got married because
there's somebody for everyone.
Is love. They had a big fairy tale wedding with a carriage, horse-drawn carriage, and a big poofy white dress. And they're just so cute and wholesome.
Oh my God. So terrible.
And so then they started.
There's obviously a disconnect in the empathy department there.
Yeah. So then they started attacking girls. They would take girls and rape them and torture them and film the whole thing. And they would do, whatever they wanted. And then they would kill the girl and get rid of her. And they had a taste for young teens.
What exactly is the connection between that and him being upset that she didn't have other men besides one? Like, where's that connection?
He wanted young girls, and he wanted virginal young girls.
Oh, he was upset that she had sex with one man, not that she had only had sex with one man. Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you.
The virginity belonged to her.
Oh, I see.
Or to him.
Okay, I don't know why I got that messed up because it made no sense. I was like, what is this connect? And I'm trying to whatever.
So
okay, well, at least it makes more sense.
So we go through this whole thing, and then we start killing different ones that they kept for days, right?
Right.
And then the one that got them caught was a 14-year-old girl she was 15, Kristen French.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked her up because it was a long weekend because it was Easter. So they assaulted her and killed her, and they ended up getting picked up for questioning.
Right.
Right. And, it all went down. And in the end, after searching the house and everything else, they had evidence, but not enough evidence. They were trying to get them to turn on each other, and it wouldn't turn, and blah, blah, blah. And of course, Carla is pulling I'm the victim here. I was scared of him, and this was, he was in control of me, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, God.
And then the Canadian police make what has long been called the deal with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Carla says, I'll give you the evidence that you need if you agree to cut me a deal.
Bitch.
And so they didn't have enough to be completely solid, right?
Right.
So, and they believed her. They believed that she was a victim. So they told her that if she pled 12 years for manslaughter and testified against Bernardo,
mm-hmm.
then they would that's what they would agree to. So that's when she told them where the videotapes were hidden.
Oh, dear.
And when they got the videotapes, that's where they started to get to see Carla sodomizing weeping 15-year-olds with a wine bottle.
What?
That's
Wait,
where
so she's and they kept her
active.
deal? They
couldn't take it back.
What?
They had already made the deal.
I'd take it back anyway.
They had made the deal in return for the evidence.
We didn't have enough information.
We know you were fucking pure evil.
Oh, that's awful. No.
Oh, yeah.
No one would.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody would do anything about it if they were like, just kidding. You're.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
in Kristen French, who they killed on Easter.
Yeah.
Literally, Carla comes down the stairs bitching at Paul because and you live with a girly girl who does all the girl things.
Yeah.
And Carla she's a looker. She's a girly girl who does all the girl things.
And more.
And yes, and they need to get ready to go to her parents' house for Easter. So she comes down and she's blow drying her hair and is basically like, you need to fucking hurry this shit up. Meaning,
right.
You've got to get Christian French killed.
Oh my God.
Because you've got to take a shower and we've got to get to dinner.
Tell me these people are dead.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no. Homolka was released from prison on July 4th, 2005.
What?
She got married to one of her lawyers.
Oh my fucking God.
She has kids. She is happily raising her family. And she was so upset because all of these mean people
Oh my God.
keep figuring out who she is.
Jesus Christ.
Right? So her most recent was she was run out of, like, she was living as like this Richie Rich super mom and was like on the PTA.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But that's so fucked up. I can't even take it.
Yeah. Well, and when she was arrested or when she was first interrogated,
Yeah.
she was wearing one of the victims' Mickey Mouse watches.
Yeah, you can take that shit back. That immunity thing, that's bullshit.
No, because they never would have found the tapes without her.
I don't care.
They never would have found the tapes without her. Now,
nothing.
meanwhile, Paul Bernardo says he never killed anyone. He says that Carla did all the killing. And the reason that I believe him on that one is because the killings were never filmed. Now, he filmed all of his torture. He used to like to beat the shit out of the girls, rape them, and then piss on their face.
Gross.
Rubbing it into their face, telling them they're a little piece of shit.
God, these people are animals.
Yeah, he was
worse than animals.
He was a fucking horrible human.
Oh
like,
gosh.
I am not debating that.
Yeah.
But none of the murders were filmed. And to me, like, Paul got off on the sadism, Paul got off on the raping, Paul got off on the attacks.
Right.
But if the murder was juicy for him,
right,
he'd have wanted that visual record.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I guess Paul didn't know how to use a video camera.
Well, no, that they would set it up and then, but when it came to the murders, like, he would often claim, like, he claimed with the first one, or I guess it was the second one, he wanted to keep her like a sex slave. And so they had the second one for a good chunk of time.
I can't connect with that kind of a brain at all. I don't get it. It's just so insane. Like, no matter how, I mean, some people like Nickelback. I could at least go, well, maybe they just like them. Blah, blah, blah. But like, holy crap! Like, there's no way to connect even like somehow. Like, well, maybe. All right, have a good night, Coots. Thanks for the gift. He bought me that game.
Oh, wow.
You lunatic! Thank you
That's
so much.
amazing.
I'll let you know. I don't know if it's a multiplayer or not, but we can play sometime if it that'd be fun. Wow, that's really nuts though. I don't know. Wow. Oh great!
Yeah.
Now I'm getting texts because it's after 12.
Oh, gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's an evil bitch.
Yeah.
And she
Horrible.
walks free and raises her children and changes her name and joins the
terrible.
PTA.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Paul's got a multiple life sentence. He's been denied parole.
Wow.
And he's just like, look, I'm a piece of shit, but I didn't kill anybody.
Oh, so what?
Like, just so we're all clear.
She should completely be in jail. I don't care about her deal.
Oh, totally.
Her
totally.
deal's bullshit as far as I'm concerned.
But yeah, take a look at some of the pictures of the two of them. They're known far and wide as
I've always been
into
into like true crime shit too, so I'll probably hopefully I won't, because I'll end up staying up reading, looking stuff, so I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll tell Krista to look it up. She'll tell me all about it too.
Yeah, they're definitely on my top 5 list of
horrifying
humans
people
who don't belong in the world anymore.
Oh God.
At all. But she did her less than 10 years and she walked away.
Wow. Nuts.
And she killed her own sister.
Yeah, that's just, there's missing stuff up there. There's missing stuff in the brain.
Think?
Yep, there's a missing, the amygdala is huge. Huge amygdala.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, have a lovely night.
You as
Sorry
well.
to keep you up so late telling you stories of horror and mayhem.
I love stories of all kinds.
And please don't wonder why you have a place at the table.
Yeah, I gotta do that.
Yeah, please don't wonder why you have a place at the table. Like, you have a place at the table because of your skill set.
Okay. Thank you.
No, you don't have to thank me.
I know. Well, I've been trained by therapists to say thank you.
Oh, good.
Instead of no.
No. Yeah. Well, you are very, very welcome, and I am looking forward to seeing more people enjoy what I've gotten to enjoy.
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
All right. Have a lovely evening.
You as well.
Talk to you later.
All right. Sleep well.
Okay. You too. Bye.
Bye. All right. That's the end of our Dark Tales after the DZ. Whenever I talk to Cygnus, it's always an interesting conversation. I probably will end up looking that stuff up. Coots, if you're there still, which you're probably not, because we horrified you. Thanks for that gift of I can't pronounce it. Terraria. I will definitely check it out. And everyone else, thank you very much for watching. And probably bots, because you haven't said anything. But what can you say to that conversation? All right. Have a good night, everyone.